Welcome one and all to another episode of the Guerrilla Press. We are the Wrestling Dorks. I am John, joined as always, once again to my left, by the talker of talking, Sam. Welcome to the show.
It's okay to be here.
Is it okay? And joined to Sam's left, who do we have to his left? Today we have, what do we call her? The Yellow Blob? Is that what she's
Wait.
We have,
I did not agree to this.
It was the Revolting Blob.
The Revolting Blob.
I did not agree to that
JLucky, welcome also back to the episode. We're glad to have you.
I want to be the something or something.
Something of something. We gotta come up with something.
Yeah, we'll think of it.
It'll
come naturally in the episode.
It will.
Sure.
That's the talker talking was just because he thinks he can talk, but he's actually terrible. Speaking of terrible, we had a lot of terrible wrestling this week. No, actually some things happened, to be honest with you.
I thought you were going to say, speaking of terrible, we just downed a whole bunch of fucking food before we started this podcast. That's why I'm dead.
We're going to jump right into it. Sam and I finally completed our end of the bet from SummerSlam, which was last week. Calories are now in our stomachs, my friend, and I have to tell you, I'm really hurting.
Yeah, I was regretting it as I started the fifth of my 6 sandwiches.
When you ordered the food.
Oh, well, yeah. I was like, God, what the fuck am I doing?
Like, I just had to order a pizza. You went to 2 different restaurants and ordered food.
Yeah, so you got a stuffed crust pizza
with sausage and jalapenos.
Pizza Hut?
Yeah. I ordered it, coincidentally, while I was on the treadmill at the gym. I got the app out and I was ordering my pizza.
I went to McDonald's and Wendy's. I got 2 McDoubles from McDonald's and 4 double stacks from Wendy's. And I'm doing a no carb thing, so I ate them without the bun.
It was more gross. Watching somebody eat a Wendy's cheeseburger with a fork is way more disgusting than watching them pick it up.
So yeah, I had 12 patties of meat. Probably, I don't know. I think there's only 1 slice of cheese on those types of things. Maybe so 6 to 12 safe slices of cheese. No buns though, and I got all mine down in 15 minutes.
Yeah, I was slightly after you. I think I finished up. We were neck and neck. Yeah. You finished 3 burgers, I finished 2 slices, but I slowed down at the end.
I think if it was speed, I probably could have got all 12 down in about 5 minutes.
You should be able to eat patties faster than I can eat pizza.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you're just a terrible eater. You know?
I'm not
actually. It's pizza. It's floppy too. It's not like firm. You know what I mean?
There's carbs.
Yeah, I mean, but I'm saying it's like floppy. It's not like a thinner dough. You know what I mean?
Right,
it's a little bit thicker.
You know, I like them floppy.
Yeah.
Ew.
You like your pizza just like your Anyway.
Ew.
Be no ewing if you're me on this podcast.
Yeah.
This is a man's podcast.
Goddamn right. We've been anointed the horniest podcast.
Yes, the horniest wrestling podcast.
Oh yeah, it's true.
It's not just the horniest podcast.
And you were wondering why are we the horniest podcast? And I think the last few weeks have pretty much
the horniest wrestling.
Sorry.
podcast.
I gotta say that.
Yeah, there's some
way hornier podcasts out there. But yeah, so if Sam and I sound a little sluggish, we may just turn it over to JLucky. We may pass out of sleep or dead by the end of this episode. You may be taking over.
Yeah, 1,250 calories of McDonald's and Wendy's without a single carb calorie is a lot of food.
I love that you were like trying to scientifically figure out because you had 2 McDonald's and 4 Wendy's?
Yeah, I don't want to, sometimes if you just keep eating, granted they're all cheeseburgers, like the same thing over and over makes me like sometimes harder to do it. So I figured by switching it up a little bit, they taste a little bit different enough that it wouldn't make me as like repulsed.
That's a good idea. I mean, I gotta tell you, and you guys can go on the Wrestling Dorks Facebook and you can see pictures of the food.
Fuck that. Put it on Twitter.
Twitter, I guess. Yeah, I'll put it on Twitter.
Nobody follows your stupid Wrestling Dorks Facebook.
Yeah, I'll put it on Twitter.
Yeah,
too. It's just that I can put more pictures on Facebook.
Yeah. The question is why are people not?
Because it's Facebook.
On Facebook.
Well, either way, go on Facebook or Twitter. You can see the pictures of the food and us standing in front of it. JLucky said we look good in our picture, which
we don't anymore after that.
And I was going to say that's compared to what we normally look like.
I should have taken an after picture.
No, that's okay.
Yeah,
guts out, boys.
God.
They're out. Trust me, there's no sucking this in. Wrestling. Should we talk about it? What do you think?
We're gone.
Let's lead off with the big story. Your new... Oh, God.
We're both burping at the same time. I mean, these
now two... that was so sexy.
And we had to eat late because JB, we can't eat.
Oh, my God.
I'm a 5:15, 5:30, 5:45 eater.
You're ridiculous. That's what you are.
And you're a...
I didn't even get out of work till 6.
So... I got out at 5.
Here's the deal.
For
Tonight,
yourself.
she got out of work at 6. She had to fold laundry for an hour and a half, and then we went hit the gym.
Was it for an army or
No, it was for 3
Wait,
people.
I folded laundry and I went and picked some tomatoes.
Oh, you didn't mention that.
Well, I wanted to get them off the thing before, any animals or...
I knew she was done work at 6, which for her is like 6:15. Fine. The plan was
Yeah, I
to
didn't
meet
think
at
till
the gym.
the gym?
The gym.
Yeah,
Like 2 minutes at the gym.
Did you?
And then come back here and maybe eat our grub at like 7 or 8, something like that. 7:30, 8 o'clock. She was still like at home at 7:30, so it wasn't. I knew it wasn't happening. But it's all right. We ate our grub.
Yeah,
We're fat as all hell now.
Yeah, it's hard to eat that much, let alone that at 8:45 too.
Yeah.
I was hungry.
You should have been starving by then. It should have helped. Because you were so hungry.
Yeah, like I really want to eat that much now. And that food too, pure grease at that time of night. I'm going to, tomorrow morning is not going to be fun.
Tomorrow's going to be rough.
Tonight
really
might be rough.
Today was rough because I had nachos, Monday night.
Raw
shows that I had. This morning was pretty rough.
Yeah, every Monday night you have nachos. Yeah.
This is why I'm built the way I am. It's not happening.
Why aren't I losing weight? Well, Monday night was 1,000-calorie nachos. Tuesday night, as a punishment, I had to add 250 calories.
And tomorrow I'm getting free Moe's.
For lunch, that'll be another G.
Yeah.
There you go.
Rough.
Tomorrow, I'm getting back on the top of things by No Food Wednesday. Sunlight and air for me.
Oh my gosh.
That's because we got a big party to go to on Saturday, which we'll talk about our impending weekend. So the big thing that happened this week in wrestling, because we are a wrestling podcast. Braun Strowman
We are
is
the horniest wrestling
the horniest. I like that actually. That's a pretty good tagline. The horniest wrestling podcast you'll hear. Braun Strowman is your new top heel in the WWE.
I don't know if I'd say new.
See, I wouldn't even say heel.
But you're an idiot. That's
Well, I think he's
a fucking heel.
No, he's a tweener.
How he raised the hand of Drew McIntyre and Dolph Ziggler.
They won the
clear
match.
heels.
He was
the ref.
He's not.
He was the ref. Yeah, this is the stupid. This is one of your top 5 all-time dumbest arguments.
I call bullshit. I said way dumber things.
This irritated me so much to no end. I sent a text to you. I was hours behind as usual. I sent you a text and I said, well, Dolph and McIntyre have got to win this. And I just figured it would be like the two of them couldn't get along and they'd get a cheap win or whatever. I did not see this happening.
Oh, absolutely not. I mean, except for the fact that WWE has no clue what the fuck they're doing, in my opinion. You figure, who are the top? Becky Lynch and Braun Strowman are now the top 2 heels. When 2-3 weeks ago they were getting the biggest cheers.
Yeah, and Becky, I think...
See, I see Becky the same way I see Braun the same way you're seeing Becky.
No, I'm saying I don't think Becky was that over like Braun. Becky got over when she did her turn and got cheered as a face, but there wasn't these crazy Becky chants. There wasn't, nonstop Becky chants.
Like, if this is at an edge to Becky's character is what you're saying.
Right. I am at a loss for... This is what pisses me off about WWE, and this is more again... And take this all in, all you Roman lovers out there. And we got some on our own network, I believe. Uh-huh. This, again, is for Roman Reigns, and that's it. Braun Strowman is the most over face by far. I mean, he's an absolute monster.
Yep.
Not the monster, I mean a monster as in a character. Like, for a guy that big to get over as a huge face like he is, the chants are all for him. When Roman's getting beat up in the ring, we want Strowman.
Yep. So go ahead and draw your comparison that you talked about. Just
I sent you that message. I said at the end, when he was getting his "Get These Hands" chants, he was doing like an arm motion, just like Ryback used to do with "Feed Me More." Very similar arm motion. And if you remember what happened to Ryback at his most overtime period in his career, and not saying that Ryback and Braun Strowman are on the same level, but I'm just saying when Ryback was his most over with the fans going nuts, he was forced to turn heel because he had to for Cena.
Because Cena was not
getting... It's the face. And he had to get the...
And he was another face that wasn't getting super cheap.
So now what happens? Braun's over as fuck, and we have to make him a heel because Roman's a good guy.
I still disagree that he's a heel. Unless next week he comes out to like a new music, which is like dastardly. And
that isn't dastardly music. It's music. It's loud. What do you think going to change it?
No, but it has like a... It has a thing that fans will cheer for. He needs to just come out to like a...
Did Undertaker's music change much over the years? Other than the biker
a lot of times, actually.
It was a fucking gong, whether it was good or bad.
Is a gong good? I still am telling you, I think that you're going to see that it's not a full heel turn.
When, in like 6 months?
That he's going to still be the same character. In my opinion, he's not going to start doing dastardly deeds. He's going to continue.
The fuck did he just do Monday night?
That was just a one-time to get revenge on the Shield, who had turned against him.
But he was... And by the way, now you brought up the goddamn Shield. So last week the Shield comes back. This week...
They're not even together.
Well, they were all in separate things, and when the run-in came, at the end... They came out to separate music.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't the two Shield members come out together at the same time?
They were wearing the new shirt.
You know why they were going to come out at the same time? Because they wanted them to get beat up individually and be like, it was a numbers game.
Right. But once again, proves my point. They were wearing the same shirt. And what did I say? Who's the heels? The guys who don't sell as much merchandise. It's directly... None of this is about wrestling anymore. It's not about wrestling. It's about selling shit. Roman sells more shit than Strowman. Charlotte sells more shit than Becky. So we're not going to turn Charlotte, we're going to turn Becky.
Maybe if Braun was pushed nearly as hard as Roman, he would sell more stuff than Roman.
It's too late. It's not like he's going to catch him. Roman's going to sell more shit, so we're not going to...
He could catch him.
Turn him heel. Like I said, what did I say last week?
Roman Reigns caught John Cena.
I said the stupid fucking Make-A-Wish or whatever terrible thing I said.
Yeah.
You're not going to send Strowman to Make-A-Wish now. You're going to send Roman Reigns because now he's the good guy. He's the face. I'm telling you.
I'd love to see a Make-A-Wish kid blast Roman Reigns. Like, I don't want you. Die, Roman, die. That would be so great.
It'd be terrible. What do you think, JLucky? Do you have an opinion on this terrible
Strowman
face?
Roman?
Not really. I kind of want to see what's going to happen next week.
Okay. No, but I guess that's another thing. At least at the end of each week now, the last 2 weeks in SummerSlam, shit has happened at the very end that makes you go, maybe I will watch next week. So... Maybe they're doing the right thing.
Yeah, no.
It's not like ending the match. What was?
I didn't want to watch.
It was this time last year, I guess. Oh, you're a fuck. You didn't want to watch?
I fell asleep last night.
Falling asleep doesn't count. You being a lazy shit that falls asleep doesn't mean...
I had darts. I came home.
I think it's your lack of calories.
It's not. I always fall asleep early now.
Tonight he could stay up late because he's full of meat energy.
I like that you call it.
I fell asleep an hour and 20-some minutes into the show, and that was with fast forwarding, so I probably watched...
I noticed you stopped texting me back.
I probably watched about 30 actual minutes of action. It's not very entertaining anymore. And by the way, I just talked to a friend of mine. He came up. We always meet up before football season. That's all I'll say. And anyway, came up to him and I was telling him about, I know,
I'm like, now, wait, hold on.
He's like, what are you doing? And I was like, I was just DVR. I'd watching Raw. And he's like, you're still watching? And I'm like, yeah. He goes, man, I'll tell you what, I was one of the biggest wrestling fans there were. He's like, when we were like younger and kids, he's like, I'll still go back and watch the old stuff. He's like, give me anything from like Hogan 85 through like NWO and WWF Attitude Era at the same time. He goes, I'll turn it on now. He's like, there's no more storylines. And I'm like, exactly. And that's the problem I have with it. There's no storylines to get excited about. Even when I watch soap operas, like I go back and I've said this on other podcasts, when I would get bored with those is when the storylines suck. But at least a soap opera, every couple of years or whatever, they come up with something at least once to make you watch. There's no great storylines anymore.
So you're telling me you don't care that Apollo Crews and Titus O'Neil might break up over Dana Brooke?
No, who gives a fuck?
I know, I was being... I'm just saying, you're kind of right that and that these storylines just appear out of nowhere. That's the thing that bothers me. There's no build. Once you realize there's a storyline going on, it's fucking over.
Right.
So
there are some good, very few, and they're more wrestling. Like the thing he was saying that resonated me, and I try to talk to people that used to watch wrestling, liked wrestling. He's probably, I'm going to say 40, 41.
I like the head tapping.
40 or 41 years old, so slightly older than us. It doesn't even have, wrestling-related storylines. Yeah, not older than you. Yeah, he's probably around your age.
Class of 96.
It doesn't have to be, like Miz, Daniel Bryan is a good storyline, no problem with that. But it's more wrestling-oriented. I think some people, when you watch wrestling, you are watching sometimes for a fantasy, for an escape. So even though sometimes in the Attitude Era there were some dumb storylines, a lot of them still though were fun. I just don't know anymore. Are we going to pull in people? Are we going to keep kids that are watching now?
See, I still feel like it's
watching in the future.
I still feel like it's we're jaded thing. I just think that it was just so.
Well, what are today's kids going to talk about in 10 years? Do you remember that time? I was like, oh wait, nothing.
No,
happened.
You know what they're going to. No, see,
what are they going to say?
I disagree. They're going to be like, remember when Braun Strowman was tipping over trucks and tipping over ambulances with Roman Reigns in it? Oh my God, can you believe that? They don't do that shit anymore.
I don't think they're going to say that.
You don't think so?
No.
The shit we think was awesome when we were teenagers
but
and
tipping
kids
over
was
a
so
truck,
stupid.
Yeah, but I'm saying that wasn't part of the storyline.
To us as kids, it was so cool. Like, all right, so name some. I mean, I know I'm putting you on the spot.
I'm just saying, original song, like Saturday Night's Main Event. I can remember Honky Tonk Man was gonna smash Randy Savage was being held up by the Hart Foundation. Miss Elizabeth right there. I'm saying that was a storyline and involved like a moment I can draw back to. Flipping to me a truck, like all that stuff Braun did was cool, like whatever. But it wasn't like you felt anything for any of the characters.
It's more about moments now than it is about
I just don't know. Do you feel anything for any of these characters? You have to, when you're watching anything, a TV show, a movie, wrestling, whatever the hell it is, you have to have some type of feeling for the character. And I'll give Roman Reigns this. I do have a feeling for his character. I fucking hate him. So, as much as I bash on Roman, at
least you have a strong feeling.
Right, at least I have a strong feeling. And that's what they said. He has the polarizing reaction. But granted, I won't care he's gone, though. That's the difference.
Yeah.
I'll harken back one last time to the soap opera. One of the longest running soap operas still going. I haven't watched it, though, in a while. But Days of Our Lives, the bad guy on the show.
Go ahead, JLucky, fill in the blank. You know
was Stefano DiMera.
I'm Young and the Restless Girl.
Yeah.
That's also a very long running soap.
So Stefano DiMera is the bad guy. Okay? I loved watching him. I liked watching him. I enjoyed him. I didn't want him to go away. I want Roman Reigns to go the fuck away. That's the difference.
All right. I don't know. I don't have a rebuttal to that because I feel like we've been watching it for too long.
Roman
No, I feel like it's a bit.
You want him to call you Meat
We've been
Shack?
watching it for so long. Yeah, Meat Shack. We'll get to that in a second. We've been watching it for so long that we have too much to compare it to. I think kids that started watching, I'm just thinking because I do watch this wrestling with kids that have been watching it for 2 or 3 years. This to them is going to be the shit that they remember. Well, they're going to look back and be like, oh my God, remember when, I can't think of anything off the top of my head, but like I said, when Braun Strowman knocked over that shit, or when Kevin Owens got covered in poop in the porta potty. They don't do stuff like that anymore. In 10 years, they might say that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? Like, to them, this
well,
now.
That's all they know, though.
That's what but that's what I'm saying.
No, that's not all we know. Anybody I talk to that watched 85, 95, 05, 15.
That's my point.
This is the
we
worst
started watching
in
the 80s. They started watching in 2016 or whatever. So to us, 85 is 2016 to them. Anything before 2016 didn't happen to them. Just like for us, anything before 85
But I think we would, but that doesn't make any sense. So you're saying automatically, like, this is the best, and this is the best, and that's not how I would rank it.
Isn't that how a lot of things, like, think of like music. A lot of music is like, the best music of your years was like from high school to like in your 20s. Do you know what I mean?
Not
you
me.
look back on those
My
times
favorite
like...
music? No.
You are that guy that just wants to disagree to disagree. You're doing this.
No.
Thank you for good. You're doing good. You're making the podcast good. You're pissing me off.
You think some of the shitty, like, 90 rock was, like, some of the best music? Oh, that's right. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. This is the guy, and it's not even 90s. This is the guy that likes such bands as Motley fucking Crue. Well, I think is god
and
fucking
what do you
awful.
think? What do you like?
I don't even want to get it.
This is not a music podcast.
Yeah, it's not a music
horny
podcast.
wrestling podcast.
Yeah. So the point of the wrestling part that I was saying, if you want to break it down to like eras and you want to say, Hogan, the new whatever, what the hell were they called after that? New Generation,
the New Generation.
Attitude, whatever. The New Generation fucking sucked dick. That was back in our childhood. That was terrible.
That was not our childhood.
Yes,
that was we were late teens. Mid to late teens.
How? 1993?
You were like 30 in 93. How was that? How were those years?
You're such a dick.
Don't try and trump this argument and just make up facts.
No, I'm just saying the things that you first saw when you were a kid watching wrestling, it was like watching with wide eyes. It's like how you think your dad was the greatest at everything. Do you know what I mean? Because get the fuck out of here.
I don't have these illusions of grandeur. Maybe because my dad never came in and tried to bill himself as the greatest at everything. Like some dads do that. Like, I'm the best at this. And then you get older and you figure out your dad's a piece of shit. My dad was smart enough to start out saying, listen, I'm not good at anything, son.
I'm sorry to scare you with my pen throw. I threw my pen across the room and Sam looked like you.
Yeah. You were right past his head.
Yeah, I'm getting him fired up. No,
you are getting me fired
great.
up.
This is fun.
I don't even want to talk. It's just so good.
Just sitting there observing.
Well, the other side, it's getting a little heated over there.
The Attitude Era and NWO was great. That wasn't my childhood. It's terrible right now, and I think while these kids may look fondly back on them,
that's my point.
Because they won't continue watching.
I'm talking to the point where you said the kids will not look fondly back on it. They will, because they will say these are the guys that.
But they're going to quit watching right away.
Why? You may have to agree to disagree because
I'm going to have to.
Why are they going to keep watching?
Because I understand both sides of what you're saying. Because I grew up watching wrestling. My grandparents watched it. But my main years watching it were the Attitude Era, and I loved the Attitude Era.
Right, and that was good.
But that's not my childhood. That's my, I was 18
Mid-30s.
through 20. Shut up. I'm not that old. But I also see wrestling through my kids' eyes. And the way they watch it, they are every time, like he was saying, when Braun Strowman lifts the trucks or whatever, they're like, oh my gosh, did you see him lift that? Because
it is crazy watching it with them versus watching it with you. Is he really doing that?
Wow, he's so strong.
Did you ever think of saying, well, instead of let's doing this, let me put on the entire year of Raw from a good year?
No.
That's it? No?
I'm not going to bother with that yet.
No, you've watched some older ones, because that's how Christopher knows who some of the older wrestlers are.
They would be like, this is insane.
He has the PlayStation game, and he wouldn't know who The Rock.
Well, that's true. I mean, and even Jake the Snake, some of the guys, I do have them download the old wrestlers.
Yeah, no, I was thinking more an Attitude Era, they would think if they watched that episode of Raw versus now, they'd be like, why is there so many more things going on? I'm not saying expose them now, but maybe in a couple of years, if they still even care about wrestling. That's my prediction, that the way wrestling works, again, it's like anything else to me. It's almost like hunting. If you're not exposed to hunting as a child, you're not going to care about it or want to do it as an adult. I think almost the same way about wrestling. If you don't get exposed to it by somebody like a family member or a good friend as a kid, you're not going to care about it. So I'm saying that these kids that watch it now aren't going to want to continue watching because they don't have any reason to. We continue watching because in the back of our mind, we remember... Dude, you remember when the fucking NWO formed, how good wrestling was in 1998? And secretly, that's what we want still.
Right.
And we're not dumb. We're not smart enough to realize that never is going to happen again because there's no competition.
Well, I did give up on wrestling for a few years for that same reason. It got lame, but I came back to it. And I'm sticking with it now.
Because you met somebody else that liked wrestling.
Like wrestling.
And got you back into it.
I can see that happening with your kids. They watch it now because they're kids and we watch it together and it's like an event for us. Right. In a few years, they might be like, all right, I'm done watching this. But then they might, like you said, come back to it after a while and be like, I remember when I watched this as a kid.
Right. Yeah. If it gets hot again.
That's what happened with me.
Yeah. Right, that's what I mean. Yeah, so...
There are a lot of years I missed.
Yeah.
I had to come back and try to figure out who everybody was.
Yeah, and I'm not saying that WWE's going to... I mean, obviously they're making money hand over fist.
Right.
So I'm just saying that I just don't foresee... Unless, maybe there'll be a contender that rises up and challenges WWE. And
there needs the competition. I think everybody agrees with that.
But they buy everybody out. It's insane. Yeah. They buy up all the talent. I almost think that's the strategy. I was reading a post from, I think his name is David Bixenspan. I read all his stuff on Deadspin. He's the wrestling writer for Deadspin. I think he posted on Twitter saying he's like, the way they're doing 205 Live now, he's like, I almost feel like it was Vince's cheap way of buying up all the indie talent and crushing a lot of these
that's
companies.
Not a bad, yeah, that's good.
Because they don't get paid hardly anything the 205 Live guys, but they're all doing it with hopes of we're going to make a live roster. Because they were saying all right, so 205 Live's no longer on Raw. And only the champ gets sometimes a pay-per-view match. So none of those guys get pay-per-view bonuses.
Right. Well, and they don't put the championship on anybody that's not a homegrown guy either.
Right. And there's one 205 Live match, I think he said at most house shows. So there's two guys that get to go to a house show. So, I don't know. I just know. And we went off tangent. I think this was a good argument, though.
No, it was
interested in
I threw a pen. I knocked over my birthday card. It scared the hell out of you. Your face. When I threw it, I was like, oh shit, was that a little too much?
He was scared at first and then very aroused by the argument.
He likes getting me fired up. He has this thing where because he thinks that I don't show emotion, So,
you really don't.
Yeah, I know. But he likes, but if he gets any kind of fucking reaction out of me, he likes that. Because he thinks that somewhere deep inside me is a lot of emotion and he wants me to show it. Launching a pen across the room, apparently, you almost tipped the table over.
I just love the, like, you know how you think, I'm like, nah, I'm like, nah.
Yeah, I know. That's what drove me crazy.
And I was just kind of just being like, because that is a thing for some people, but I just wanted to be a dick and be like,
oh my God.
I mean, not all fathers, are, profess to be like the best in cornhole or something.
Yeah, I know, that would be a crazy thing to profess that. So let's talk about the Attitude Era. We had, what did the Phillies win?
They lost 5-4. They blew a lead. They're up the whole game. Aaron Nola, bullpen blows it. They score one in the ninth to get your attention, I'll say. I was going to say something foul, but I didn't. And then they just...
Nah, can you say it? What were you going to say? We both don't know what
Yeah, you score one in the ninth to get you aroused and they leave you with blue balls. We should talk about that later.
Yeah, speaking of blue balls, I had the worst nut pain in my life. Seriously,
I don't
last
know
night.
how...
But it wasn't blue balls.
I don't think. I mean, I'm sure it couldn't have been blue balls. It's not like I was like whacking off before I went to work.
I was saying you needed to go to the emergency room.
Yeah, you wanted me to go to the emergency room.
Well, considering you had intense pain when you took a step off the curb and all of a sudden it shot through your whole entire
felt
body.
You were going to pass out. Everything I looked up was
and
I've known like two people, not personally, but like
he thinks my balls got
do one to the other that have got testicular torsion. And when that thing twists, that's all. I looked it up and they were like, you'll feel like excruciating pain in your balls, like you could pass out.
It was seriously like it was.
You know what? I did read that because I was looking too, and it did say it was like. And
I was like, dude, you could lose a ball. Like that's what I was like. You need to go get this checked. He's like, I don't need them anyway.
I didn't say that, but it's kind of true. But I don't.
Yeah, but I mean, and now we're going off wrestling. We're going back on the balls here quickly. So, JLucky, I'll ask you this since you have to sleep with this man. I don't have to, but
get to.
Yeah,
he
whatever.
has balls, I swear.
No, I was going to say, would it bother you if there was only one ball in the sack?
I don't know, maybe. No, I don't think it would bother me.
Oh, so there you go. So I'm fine.
Because that one, so the pain is gone? Your ball pain's gone?
The pain's gone. I took one Advil. Just
so
because
strange.
It felt like it was, I'm telling you, dude, it felt like I had like a softball down there. I went to the bathroom and checked. Nothing.
That's really weird. Like that type of extreme.
Everything looked the same, but I'm telling you, even to like barely touch it.
The only time I've ever had ball pain was blue balls.
Blue balls, okay.
And there's an easy way to take care of that. So.
Well, yeah, this was not. It was the same. So it was similar pain to blue balls, but it was not. That.
Yeah, but the way you're showing, like,
I'm telling you, I felt
the fact that you broke out in like a cold sweat.
Yeah, what happened was I was heading to work and I felt a little like weird down in the groin region. And when I got out of the car, I was like walking. I'm like, man, it's a little uncomfortable. But then when I got I had to go fetch my first car at ballet. When I stepped off the curb and took my first step to run. It was like, I felt like I was just going to die. Like, it was just intense pain in my whole right groin.
Maybe you got the luckiest break of all time, tangled them up, and untangled them yourself.
Maybe.
That would be
maybe when you went to the bathroom, were you moving things around?
I didn't move anything around.
Did untangle or whatever, did you realize, like, dude, that surgery was going to be hell. They cut your fucking sack open, and they untwine, like, the fucking wires.
Or whatever. The wires.
And then they pin the wires to the side of your sack with a stitch so they can't get tangled again.
I don't know what it was. I have no clue.
There'd been no party on Saturday for you.
I was having a really hard time because luckily there was another valet there with me till like for an hour. And I told her, I was like, I'm sorry, I'm having serious problems. And she goes, what's wrong? I'm like, it's a guy thing. And she goes, okay. So she knew, because normally when I get there, I'm running. Like I run right away.
I wonder,
for the cars.
I don't think women know much about balls.
I don't think they do. But
so when he's this guy,
no, we really don't.
I don't even know what, because women can always say it's a girl thing, and guys are like, oh yeah, leave me out of it, don't even talk about it. If I'm a woman, I'm just trying to think, I want to ask 10 random women, if a guy's in pain, he goes, and it's a guy thing. What do you think? That should be we should have a Twitter poll.
That you guys would, if I was like, oh my god, I'm having pain, you guys would, I instantly think period.
Right.
Only because guys don't really know what that is.
Vaginal rate.
Yeah, cramps or something.
Vaginal?
Yes. I don't like that. Vaginal. It sounds like so scientific.
But vaginal sounds better.
Sounds better. Sam, get up off the floor. What's wrong with you?
Vaginal.
Oh, God.
So, long story short, I had the worst ball pain in my life yesterday, and I'm over. I don't know if it was the one Advil or if it was just mental or what, but my God, it was rough. Rough pumpkins. So we were talking about the Attitude Era. We had Trish Stratus. I've had a hard time saying her name. Came out and interrupted Elias. What do we think? Well,
it was the Evolution match, I guess, with Alexa Bliss.
Yeah. And plus they were in Toronto, so I mean she was right around the corner.
Yeah, that made sense.
Huge pop for her.
Yeah,
she only said Toronto like 8 times.
Yeah, just to get that huge. JLucky, what did you think? Did she look good?
Yeah, she did.
Yeah,
I thought she looked good.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's in amazing shape. She works out all the time. Only thing is, like, you look at her now and it's like she clearly had a nose job. I don't know why, and if it was something that happened to her, I'd feel bad. But she didn't need a nose. Like, her nose looks so fake right now.
Yeah, her face looks her face looks fake because her nose looks fake.
Yeah.
Well, they zoomed up on her face. She has some, like, to me, it looks like natural, like, hang starting a little bit. Like, to me, it's just her nose that, I think if her nose wasn't done and it all, like, synced up, so to speak, her nose looks like a year old and the rest of her face looks, 40-something years old, whatever the hell she is.
Yeah, do we even know how old she is? Is she 50 yet? I love that Elias made fun of her for being. He doesn't.
Elias is so good.
He's so good.
I would guess 45. I don't know, 48.
Trish, I would say, I'd say 48. I like that he said, "Are you guys going to have a pillow fight, pillow fight, or something?" I was like, "Jesus, is he allowed to say
42?
42.
She was born in 75.
She retired so young. Yeah,
that's crazy.
December 18th, 75.
75. Oh, so she's going to be 43 this year. I'm like, wait a second. I'm like trying to figure out the difference between her and JLucky. I'm like, wait a second. Okay. She looks good for 45. Wait, no, what did she say?
She's 42. She'll be 43. About to be
born in
43.
75. Sorry. Numbers.
Oh, her body though is so tight. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, she was wearing those high waist mom pants to hide her belly or whatever. But
I don't know. I bet she has more pictures online. I think maybe that's what she was just wearing.
You think? But then I just on SmackDown, then Brie Bella was wearing the same high waist.
Brie Bella has a fashion line, so it could be one of her pants.
Oh, it's the hide your mom belly thing.
Maybe.
Am I alienating too much of our audience by saying mom bellies?
Probably. Of our mother audience.
Yeah, sorry mothers out there, but we know what you're up to, trying to hide your mom bellies. Just let them out like we do. Sam and I, we fill them with calories.
1,250 of them.
Yeah.
Her face definitely looks different.
Does it? Oh, you guys are looking this up?
Well, I'm looking at her face from before and her face now.
I felt like her face looked thinner and longer, which I guess is like a thing. When you're young...
Cheekbones are like...
Well, she changed everything.
The thing is, when you're younger, though, I mean, JLucky, you can admit, your face was like rounder when you were younger, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think that happens. I mean, I agree that she had a nose job, but I don't know if she had anything else. Trish Stratus.
Probably. If she got the nose job for
got punched in the nose.
Yeah, like I can see if you got your nose broken, but she probably had other shit done.
You know what? Remember
probably
she had
somehow.
She was wearing that mask for a few years. I wonder if she had like something fucked up.
I don't know. I'll tell you, I loved when she. Remember she had the dark hair? Do you remember that? Yeah, she.
Not really.
Yeah.
That's
right there. Anyway, I loved her with dark hair. So good.
I actually didn't realize she was only 42. For some reason, I always thought that she was like much older than that.
I think it's because she was around for, and then she retired so long ago.
I like
she retired young.
I like that they brought out Mickie James.
Yeah,
and they're like, these two really know each other.
Yeah, and all I'm thinking is V-Lick WrestleMania.
Look that up for any of our newer fans that don't know about the Mickie James.
Yeah, and you can't look it up on the network because they take it out.
Yeah, gross. So Kevin Owens quit. He's gone. He had a match.
He's gonna be at All In.
Yeah. So you think he actually quit?
No, it's just they don't have anything for him to do.
So you're not admitting that this could be a storyline, which you said that there were no storylines.
Well, they don't have anything for him to do. Just like where's Bray Wyatt? They don't have anything for him to do.
It's because Matt Hardy died or whatever.
He died. He's just becoming a producer.
So you think that the Kevin Owens thing is going to go nowhere?
I don't think he'll be back. It's just they got to think of something for him to do.
How about that Stone Cold Stunner he put?
Yeah.
Did you see that?
Yeah,
that was a
good
sweet
match.
stunner. I mean, he really knows. He's so good. He's so good.
What storyline? I quit. Storyline. I'm back. That's the storyline. Maybe he's waiting for Sami Zayn. Even though Sami Zayn's supposed to be out for a while.
A long time. Yeah, he blew out a lot of things.
I like how he brought up. If I had my best friend Sami Zayn, like he still found a way to like work him in. I'm sure
it's pretty good. You want to talk? Or you already talked about the Shield. Let's talk about SmackDown. King Booker comes out. He
that was
ignites
out
the
of
New Day.
nowhere, yeah.
That's pretty cool. I mean, how many times does Booker T get a huge pop like that? It was kind of cool. How he came
Well, he
out.
just never. When's the last time he was involved?
Well,
I'm not talking about as an announcer. I'm talking about like an in-ring type of thing.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. Cool little moment there. What else was? Oh my God! Samoa Joe continues to be amazing. Calling AJ's wife on the phone. No, nobody, nothing. You guys got no reactions?
I think you think he's more amazing than I think.
Maybe I just think he could do it. I could watch him make a ham sandwich, and I'd be like, "Oh my God, it's so
You'd
good."
be like, oh my God, I can't wait to eat that ham sandwich.
Oh, I would eat that sandwich so bad.
No,
Joe
maybe
probably-
you'd like to watch him eat the ham sandwich.
Yeah, he might.
I don't know about that.
I think so.
That's freaky. You guys are weird.
I'm
you guys are
surprised
freaks.
they're still continuing this whole Wendy thing. I guess that's what they're going to go with.
Yeah, might as well go with it. I mean, it is a storyline since they don't have storylines in WWE.
Yeah,
You know.
maybe what they could do to spice up a little is have Wendy turn on her husband.
See, I keep thinking that's going to happen. It'd be so cool if they just
And
that would be an
and
attitude
she,
era
and
storyline.
she has the kid with Joe.
Okay, I don't know about that.
What do you mean? No, I mean they already did. Remember when Eddie? They were doing the whole like. Might have been after Eddie died. It was Chavo and Rey Mysterio for like custody of like Eddie's son.
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
They've done like crazy stuff. Like
yeah,
that.
they won't go that crazy, but I could see like Wendy chooses Samoa Joe over AJ because he's better.
And then of course the son would come with.
Well, I would choose Samoa Joe over AJ. I mean, come on, look at him. Look at him.
What? But if AJ's your dad, you think he's the best at everything ever, don't you?
Well, he's probably pretty good at cornhole, but other than that. And we also had Carmella versus Charlotte main event. You were all about Carmella watching
always all about
SmackDown.
Carmella.
You were like extremely aroused by Carmella.
I mean, Carmella's great.
Almost as much as the HQ trivia chick that you were
Lauren
drooling over.
Gambino is amazing.
Would you stop with this? Like, you really go nuts over her every single week.
She's awesome.
She's just an average-looking girl who reads off of cue cards.
Oh my God, you have no apologies. You have horrendous taste.
Wow. Jeez.
Wow.
Wait, did you say no offense?
Yes, I meant to say no offense. I said no apologies, and that actually works out better. You have horrendous taste if you think Lauren Gambino is not attractive and
I'm just saying that
extremely
she's
cool.
extremely average compared to what you're making her out to be.
You
act
think
like
this
she's-
girl's a 5. Okay.
You act like she's Drew McIntyre or something, but she's just Lauren Gambino. She's just the host of HQ Trivia, which we should announce tonight. JLucky, we are sitting here with a
Oh, it doesn't matter. Lauren Gambino hosts the show. She's a nothing.
HQ Trivia champion to your left there,
That is
Sam.
correct. $2.97 richer.
The first of the three of us to win any kind of money. How does it feel to have money in your pocket from HQ Trivia?
Amazing.
Doesn't it, though? You can almost afford HQ Trivia Premium or something.
That's not a thing.
I know.
Yes, that's not a thing.
Yeah, well, you guys aren't a thing. All right, so let's talk about some more things.
Oh, you didn't talk about much about your Drew McIntyre.
He didn't do much this week, so...
Well, now he's playing second fiddle to Braun Strowman.
No, he's not. He's first fiddle.
I didn't see that. Braun Strowman was in the middle, raising both their hands.
Nah. Everybody knows the guy to the right is the king of the thing. That's
The king of the thing.
that's me. Okay. So I want to talk about, did you happen to see on Twitter, you probably didn't, I was watching Raw while I was doing valet last night, and some asshole put, I got my gun through security.
Oh, yeah, that was the biggest story. Jason Sensation.
Where are you going?
I'm plugging in my phone.
You probably didn't see this on...
I did not see
You
this.
didn't see it. I was going to explain to Sam, some guy tweeted, I'm at...
Not some guy. You don't remember Jason Sensation?
I don't.
Yeah, so back in the day, you remember the whole skit where, what was it, the Nation, they did like a fake Nation domination or whatever? Like one guy played The Rock, one guy played Triple H, whatever.
Yeah, I do remember that.
There was another skit then where they then mocked like the Hart Foundation or whatever. And Jason Sensation was the guy that played the role of Owen Hart.
Oh, okay.
And he, with like the fake nose putty and everything. And he was also like a writer as well. He's actually I believe he's a stand-up comedian, this guy. So he's very well known in like the true wrestling community, not the people that go away for a while and then come back and yet still say. So anyway, what did he tweet out? You worthless sack of shit.
I do host a semi-successful podcast, so I would consider myself in the wrestling community. He tweeted out that he is at Raw and got his gun through security, and he's gonna, I think, kill a bunch of people and then himself.
No, just himself.
Okay.
Yeah, he said, I got my gun through security, and I'm basically going to kill myself live on Raw. Thanks for the memories, WWE.
Yeah.
And a bunch of people were extremely concerned for his well-being. They reached out to the police. They reached out to the thing. Vince Russo.
Yeah, I saw Vince Russo tweet.
Vince Russo, I guess, actually ended up getting in contact with him and told everybody, like, I talked to him, he said it was a joke.
It's a terrible joke,
yeah.
though. I mean, it really is, considering...
In today's day and age, especially since people just got shut up.
At a video game.
And there was a shooting in Canada not too long ago either.
Yeah, I mean, it's just... I'm not one of the... I don't like the wussification of society. I really am against it. I really am against it very much. But in today's day, you can't joke about doing a shooting live on TV. You just can't, unfortunately. It's not...
Unfortunately, like, yeah, I mean, you should ever really be able to, like...
Right, but like in the 90s, that joke flies and people are like, you know what I mean? Like, I mean, there's no Twitter back then.
There's no Twitter, that's a tough
There's no Twitter, so I mean, like, you could say to your buddies, I'm going to go do it, but you can't say it on Twitter.
That's a great point you make. I was listening to something the other day that was like, here's the problem. Twitter isn't your fucking friend.
Right.
You make some of these shit, like these people, like these comedians that are all getting like, whatever. And again, I'm against like comedians not being able to make jokes or whatever.
Right.
But when people post different things on Twitter and they're like, come on, it was a joke. Yeah, these are the type of jokes that like you're driving somewhere, you're in a car with like 3 or 4 friends that you're close to, and you figure, oh, I can crack a joke about shooting up a place, or I can crack a joke like a Catholic sex joke.
Right, you're right. You can't. It's not your buddies. If it's you and me,
you're gonna offend somebody.
Right. We're just sitting in the living room watching TV, and we make a joke. I'm going to kill myself in Raw next week.
Yeah,
it's not that funny, but it's funny to us. Right. You can't put that kind of shit on Twitter. You just can't, unfortunately,
because people aren't going to be able to read into it, possibly either.
Absolutely.
And people.
Yeah, I thought it was bad taste. I assumed it was phony when I read it because I'm like, what kind of asshole actually posts this? But
there were people like legitimately worried for him too that were like. Didn't get like some type of low, like he's been out of the spotlight for so long. Because like I said, he did, a skit in WWE. So, but I guess it was just a way to get attention.
Yeah, and again, we're talking about him.
Yeah,
and it sucks, but that's like the way things go.
I think that's probably some type of felony.
I would assume.
Like
I
threatening.
mean, he didn't threaten anyone else's life, so it's probably not a felony. It's more like he get kind of in trouble. All right, so I'm going to talk about a couple of things. As if we haven't talked enough about non-wrestling items. Oh, you all right? Burgers fighting back.
Oh, my God.
So you went no ketchup tonight?
No ketchup.
No carbs. How did you weigh in? I'm glad that wasn't loud. JLucky's getting ice.
And don't ask me to get you a drink.
Yeah, this guy's fucking... Why can't I lose any weight? We already went over the nachos and this. He's probably on his 4th beverage of the evening.
I need something to drink during this show.
Oh, it's not alcoholic?
No, just put some Pepsi.
Oh, look at you!
Yeah.
Kicking out the...
Well, I've already had 2 beers and some vodka, so I can't...
Oh, Jesus, this is why we're having problems. He's had 3 drinks. 3 drinks is truth telling, JB.
Yeah, the 4th drink is the truth telling.
This is why the pen throw came out.
So speaking of vodka, apparently you had some vodka Saturday night. Didn't go well?
No, it went well.
Oh.
I had fun.
Oh, I thought you were saying that it didn't do well.
I mean... I had fun that night. The next day, you're lying there, you're not super dry, but I mean, I always have fun.
I thought you were insinuating that it was a disaster from the get-go.
I mean, it is a disaster that those are fun. Like, you act like an idiot, whatever. I'll show you some videos then, but
okay.
Yeah, it's I mean, yeah, you pound down a bunch of vodka, and that's what I probably can't drink that much at the party we're going to this weekend if I react the same way.
Yes, the Wrestling Dorks will be partying it up Saturday night. Pretty excited. Saturday day into night.
Right.
Last year at the same party.
No, yeah, well, it's
night.
Yeah, the day ended though. Like that, I think it's over like 6 o'clock.
JLucky.
7.
JLucky, you remember last year we ended up at the strip club. That was your favorite night.
And I had a bike.
You want a bike that you're still Oh, all right.
It's a pretty cool bike.
I haven't been to a strip club since.
Neither way. So
I tried to go Saturday night, but my friend won't stop.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
No, we'll go, right?
Oh,
We'll see. Maybe.
These girls, no matter what, would have looked good.
So it was the vodka, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah,
Speaking of looking good, how's the online dating? Still rocking it? Still
terrible. It's the worst thing ever. I despise it. I just sit there, swipe different things.
Yeah, we came up with different for you listeners out there. We came up with each of us.
Who else would this pay for?
Well, I'm not talking to you anymore. I'm talking to the people.
The peeps.
Yeah,
the people.
We came up with each of the 3 of us. We're going to have our own segment, and we came up with one for JLucky, one for me, and we can't think of one for Sam. And my original thought was, wouldn't it be hilarious for Sam to just blow through his dating thing and make fun of the people but he said that's too mean. He can't be that mean.
Yeah, on air, that's just wrong. Like I said, you can't say certain things on air that you can say in front of like one other person.
It would be so great though, because I'm telling you, he says these things to us in private, and it is gold I'm rolling, but it just...
Yeah, and odds are none of these girls are listening to a wrestling podcast, but they would know if I start reading their profile, I said that, and he just called me this offensive term or that offensive term. So
yeah, he does.
I don't need. So like I said, I have the music challenge. I'm perfectly fine with whatever the fuck you guys
come up with something for you.
He does the music challenge.
Yeah, and this week we're bringing up we've done the mailbag before, but now starting this week at the end of the show we're going to be doing JLucky's mailbag.
And rebranded.
It's been rebranded. She's going to actually reach into her sack and pull out some mail and read a couple questions.
My mail sack?
Yeah, for her mail sack, because she feels a connection to the mail, to the people.
To the mail sack.
To the mail sack. And she's gonna answer some questions, so going forward.
Yeah,
she feels a connection to the mail sack.
You caused his mail sack apparently some problems.
Yeah,
I wasn't me. I don't know what he did to himself.
I didn't do anything to myself. I walked and ran and moved. So yeah, for going forward, as you're going on to tap.
So now can I say, don't get your balls all twisted?
Yeah. Oh man, if you would have had that, you'd been out of commission for a little while.
I felt like I was going to die. Anyways, as I was trying to promote, as you're going on to all the different various outlets and where you listen to us and you follow us on Twitter, apparently not Facebook, but please go on Facebook there as well. You can send us email at tappedouttgp@gmail.com. Those questions will go directly to JLucky. You won't have to hear either of us fat shits answer your questions anymore. She will be answering the questions. So that's a big plus. A girl talking about wrestling. What do you think of that?
It's good. I'm just thinking about those burgers still. That's a lot of burgers.
Yeah, I don't think you're thinking of them. I think they're fighting back.
Yeah, just now.
They're making you think about them.
I'm tired. There's so many of
them. Should we go to the JLucky's mailbag, or do we want to talk about the thing that I want to talk about?
What's that?
Yeah. I stand at the... This is a big topic for me. It has nothing to do with wrestling, so Dan, you can turn it off now if you'd like. I stand at the valet stand and I watch people go in and out all day. So I'm a people watcher. You know, I watch them. I watch the people. 9s and 10s and 8s.
Can you explain to people you're talking about 9s and 10s and 8s?
I think they know. Like, honestly, go ahead, Sam.
And I'm qualifying it. And again, I asked you this earlier and you were like, well, this person's got this and this. Looks only.
Looks only.
Yeah.
I'm saying when a 9 is walking up, always, not even 90% of the time, they're always with a 9. Good-looking people end up with good-looking people.
But you did qualify it and say for the man, he could look like he was well-to-do, not necessarily good-looking.
Yeah, but he still, presents himself as a 9. You know what I mean? Like, you don't... And I'm not saying the... I don't know how to... It's not even so much the 9s or 9s that get... It's the 3s and 4s with 3s and 4s. I think that's the thing.
Yeah, we got no options.
I think that's the thing that's what gets me.
You're my dating app, but I said here are the people that message me, and I show you.
I think everybody knows that a good-looking person is going to end up with a good-looking person. I just think that's
always happened. Case in point.
Well, no. But I'm saying when I see a guy walk out and he's disheveled and he's got a limp, there's always some skinny crackhead on his arm. Do you know what I mean?
That doesn't sound too bad.
I have another pen and I will throw it. I have a whole bunch of pens here.
I mean, skinny crackheads, some of them are attractive.
I don't mean the attractive skinny crackheads. I mean, can you stop with the dead air? Can you guys chime in? You know what I'm talking about, though? You see an ugly person, and they're almost always with an ugly person. Well,
that's your theory. I told you earlier today. I don't 100% subscribe to your theory. When I went into the Turkey Hill today in good old Moton, PA, I look at people and I formulate awful things about just how they look, which is not necessarily the nicest thing to do with. So I'm walking in and I see a guy in a wife beater. He's wearing a wife beater out in public, and he's clearly... I'm going to say 28 to 32 years old. He's not 17, 16.
Right.
Where I would be like, all right, whatever.
Right.
Wearing a wife beater. It doesn't even look like a brand new one. And I'm in there, I'm like, and the guy also is balding, but not smart enough to shave his head. So he's got the sides and the back are of a little bit of length to him, and the middle part is just all shredded.
Right.
And I get to the back and I'm buying my iced teas. And I look over and I see there's a really, like, good-looking girl in Turkey Hill emoting. I'm thinking to myself, man, what's this girl doing in Turkey Hill? Like, and again, I can only see her from behind. I see she's got, tight jeans on, really nice body. Turns around on her and she's got a cute face, too. We go up to check out, and the sloth of a human being is still up there. I mean, he's not the ugliest in the world, but I mean, honestly, like, looks-wise, there's no way, most chicks would give him more than a 5. And that's just being nice. Nobody give more 5. She gets up there, starts talking to him. They walk out together. They're together. This girl being fair, she's probably, and again, for where we were at, she's probably a 9. But maybe in the grand scheme of things, let's just say she's a 7 or 8. In the grand scheme of things, he's probably a 4. Like, it happens. And I think it happens more women over men. A woman can have a high score and be with a man with a low score.
Because they're not as shallow as we are.
No, because the guy has, I think he might have been her hookup for drugs. Oh. That was my guess. Yeah, you have to make a guess why. I'm like, hookup for drugs. It's one of the things.
Well, yeah, you almost never. I'm sorry.
Money, power, drugs, some type of hookup. Yeah. So maybe you're right in your generalization, but it can be broken because people do things for different reasons.
I don't think it's not surprising to me when I see like a good looking guy or a good looking girl walk up and I see a good looking person on their arm. It's more to me like the ugly people go with ugly people. And I think to myself, like, that's just the way it's going to be. I don't know how to explain what I'm like.
That makes sense, though.
It's not like a huge revelation.
No,
I guess it's just more like you think of good-looking people get together. You don't think of the uglies getting together. You just think of them as being...
You have to.
Yeah, but you think of them as being, like, whatever.
This is a very shallow conversation.
And the averages go with
shitty people.
And the averages go with averages.
I guess.
You don't have many options. Like, once in a while, you might get, like, somebody... Like I said this to you, and I tell this to everybody. Looks are 1,000%, like, it's all up to you individually. So you might think somebody is a fucking 5 that I think's a 10. I've had that happen before where somebody's like, I'm like, I think she's amazing. And there's sometimes somebody else is like, oh, this girl's then, and you're like, she's not that great.
Like how you think Paige is awesome, and I think she's
you think anybody that's, you think every chick, who else do you think? What's the announcer? JoJo. Yeah. Right. So I'm saying it's all in the eyes. So that's how you can sometimes, in my opinion, get a mismatch of what some people might say is looks. Well,
so I know it's not wrestling related at all. It's not even really that deep of a conversation. I guess just because I do sit there and watch the people, and I'm getting to the point where it's like I see it constantly where they match up very well.
That happens all the time in the wrestling world too. Like, because wrestlers end up usually dating wrestlers.
Yeah.
And it's not like Mantar's walking off with some,
Well, it's like tonight when you were drooling over Carmella, and I said, she was with Big Cass. Can you handle being the follow-up guy to Big Cass? And you seem to not give a shit.
No, I said I would.
You don't mind her being wildly disappointed?
No, I'm not trying to have a relationship with her. We're just talking about, where you get one shot at Carmella, you take it, you're done quick, and you leave.
You're done. Why do you assume you're done quick?
Because you're going to be done quick.
So how should we introduce this JLucky's mailbag thing? Do you want to, read the questions, or just have,
I think you should read the questions, because I really don't feel like trying to move this laptop around so I can read them.
Okay.
And then you could just pick random ones.
Okay.
If this is going to be, an official... ongoing segment, most shows I've listened to, have a formal introduction of it. We need maybe some type of sound drop for it's JLucky's mailbag of the week or something like that.
Song or
then what I was thinking was maybe we just tape the sound of a porn where the balls are slapping against the chick.
Are we back to mail sack?
Yeah, well, it's mailbag, and that's yeah. Oh yeah, you know what? Maybe it should be it's got to be JLucky's mail sack of the week.
Mail sack. But male, M-A-L-E.
Yeah.
M-I-A.
But I might get some interesting questions if you call it the mail sack.
Yeah, and almost should be JLucky's mail sack question of the week or something like that. So that way, at least it's not completely...
It's not just JLucky's bag of porn.
Yeah.
All right, well, maybe I'll find a I'm not going to put a sound drop of balls.
Or maybe, you could maybe just come up with your own, with your hands. Yeah, there you go.
Like that?
Yeah.
JLucky's mail sack time.
Oh my goodness.
All right, mail sack question of the week.
Why can't I just get music?
and it would be presented by who would be our sponsor for the
Pop Chips.
What's that to do with mail sacks?
I don't know. I felt like my sack was going to pop yesterday. So there you go. First question comes from a guy named Ben JLucky. He wants to know, do you think if you weren't part of the Wrestling Dorks?
Oh my goodness, not part of the Wrestling Dorks?
Yeah, and
right. Get your sarcastic, sexy sarcastic ass out.
Wait, give me a pen to throw.
Would you, if you were not part of the Wrestling Dorks and not with an amazing stud like myself, who is
I don't think I said
a 3, arguably a 4.
I feel like that's not
All right, I'm sorry. Let me read it verbatim. I'm sorry. Would you still watch wrestling if you weren't part of the Wrestling Dorks?
That's a good question. Because, well, like I said earlier, I watched it when I was little, and then I watched it again with the Attitude Era, and then I stopped. Because I was with somebody who didn't like wrestling, so I didn't watch it for many, many years.
Right.
And then because of you, I started watching it again and tried to get into it again and learn who everybody was. But now my kids are interested in it as well.
But again, that's because of me.
But that's
Sorry,
because of you.
But
I think even if you weren't in the picture now, like all of a sudden I was like, see ya. Just kidding. Just kidding.
Which could happen.
Yeah, I know.
No, but I think the kids
5-point difference is killing me.
I think the kids would still be interested in watching it because they really look forward to it every week. So I think that's something that I would still want to share with them. So I think even if I wasn't part of the Wrestling Dorks, I would still be a wrestling dork on my own.
So you're saying if I was out of the picture now, had I never come along though, you think you might not have ever watched
Probably
it?
Not.
Yeah, and exactly. Wrestling, you need somebody else to get you into it, or you're not going to make it.
You're just going to randomly turn it on.
Television or whatever, so to speak.
You'd have more time for Big Brother.
That's true.
She'd still watch it like at the gym.
Of relationships, and you bring up how the person you were with before. And now, I'm not saying they necessarily would have stopped you from watching it, but they weren't into it, so you didn't watch it. But I read something today on Facebook. It was a local Facebook post.
Sucks.
It sucks, I think, for like business stuff.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Except for like maybe like restaurants or whatever. But the post was from Y102, and it was like a true like write-in apparently from one of the whatever, and it said, my husband said that he would stop playing fantasy football this year. He gets, what does it say? He gets too, what was the terminology she used? It was like, because he gets too worked up or too something about, he gets too carried away with fantasy football. So he promised me he wouldn't play this year. But I recently found out he signed up for a team again. And people like put their thoughts or whatever. And I just freaking blasted these people because it was going on. I agree with her. He should have to quit. I agree with her. He should have to quit. Whoa! If he can't stay away from fantasy football, how would that mean he's stay away from another woman? I'm like, are you? I typed it into Facebook, which I never respond, and maybe it's why I did because I usually can't respond because I will be too mean to the people. So I respond to this as a general thing. As nice as possible. I'm like, is this a real question? Are we really saying that a guy, if he enjoys fantasy, I said first, I goes like, define to me carried away. And second of all, I was like, I think your relationship has more problems than just fantasy football, if that's what you're questioning.
If he feels like he has to quit fantasy football for you.
Right, so that's what I'm saying. Like when she was saying about wrestling, and granted it wasn't a situation where he was like, you can't watch wrestling. But I feel like that happens in like relationships where like, if somebody likes something and it's not doing any harm just because you don't friggin' like it.
Right.
It shouldn't be a problem. Like I said, like I'm on all these dating websites, and if I eliminated every single chick because they like something I didn't like, and there's a lot of shit I don't like. All these chicks say, I love camping, I like hiking, I don't like any of that shit, but I'm not going to eliminate them. Maybe I'll try it out with them and like it, or maybe I'll say, you know what, if you like doing that, go do it with your friends, that's cool. I'm not going to do it because I don't freaking like it.
It's like, this is maybe not a great example, but I hated all those stupid reality shows and all that shit. But now I watch Big Brother with her because she loves stupid Big Brother.
Right.
But
that's my only reality show.
Yeah, but I'll sit there and watch it with her, and I would never have even thought to watch it before. But she really gets enjoyment out of it. Like, she'll sit there and, like, watch it. To me, it's like, I can watch it and it's good stuff. But like, she really loves it. She runs a pool on Big Brother because she loves it so much.
Right, but it's not like, even if you didn't watch it, it wouldn't be like, I don't want you watching that stupid shit.
Oh my god, yeah.
You're getting too involved in it. Like, alright, you like something,
it's also if you're
fucking
just an asshole, too. That's part of it, so. Good answer, JLucky. You kind of got a conversation started. You want to answer one more? We got a couple here I could pick from. You want to pick one?
Sure.
All right.
One more.
All right.
I don't want to hog it any more airtime.
This one comes, they just signed it as Sasha Fan, so thank you, Sasha Fan. Who is your favorite current female superstar? We know that you have, like, in the past, you liked Electricians and Litas and all that, but who's your favorite current?
Current? I would have to say Becky. I love Becky.
Even
I have
with her
loved Becky.
Pseudo-heel turn?
I have loved Becky since NXT. She has been one of my favorites, and then when she came to WWE, I was very excited, and now I still really enjoy watching her. I like that she actually wrestles. Her accent was a little hard for me to get used to at first, because I couldn't quite understand what she was saying sometimes. But I think she's way better than she was.
We used to make fun of her voice because she had a deep
I didn't really
voice,
care for her look before. I like it now. And actually, the heel, like tonight, like on the Smackdown, I thought she looked great.
Yeah, she looked good this week.
Yeah, speaking of that, I'm glad you said Becky, just because I wanted to mention, on SmackDown this week, Becky was getting 1 million cheers.
Oh, she was way more over than, I hate to use that term, but she was way more popular.
They were chanting for Becky, they chanted for her again after a sneak attack. Like, what happened to booking on the fly a little bit and saying, like, all right, like, WWE never planned for Daniel Bryan to be what he was, but they realized we gotta do something with it. And I'm worrying, that sometimes they don't realize what they have. Like, granted, maybe if they flip-flopped it around now and tried to make Charlotte the bat, maybe people wouldn't react as much, but...
Yeah. I mean, I like the edge.
They've made Charlotte the bat. I mean, she's
been bad before, but she's supposed to be the good guy now.
The crazy thing is, Becky, I feel like Becky's always been getting cheers. Like, I feel like people have loved her since she first came up. And they really just never did anything. Like, they always just have her...
This is just the loudest that people have ever been.
Well, right. That's what I'm saying. But I think she's always been popular, but they haven't let her, like, I don't know. I feel like they've kind of they haven't really pushed her. She hasn't really had as much time as she had.
That she needed, I think, is what I'm thinking. Mm-hmm. But
why the hell do these two girls get to have a feud and Sasha and Sasha Fan? I'll say to you, why the hell doesn't Sasha and Bayley get to have a feud?
I don't quite understand.
It's got to happen at some point.
I think either that or they're going to introduce a female tag team division, and they're just keeping them together so they can be the first champions.
It's for
They probably will. I think after Evolution, I would bet.
Maybe it's for Super Showdown purposes, since we have to promote that every 5 seconds. I was going nuts on Raw. Why do we have to have... It's basically, you said, it's a glorified house show. Yes, it's on the network. Live at, 4 a.m.? Our time, I believe it's 4 a.m.
Something like that.
Live,
Saturday.
Here.
Yeah.
And I understand that whatever, it's a stacked card, but story, like, why are these,
nothing's going to matter. We know, after the Greatest Royal Rumble, we realized that anything that happens at this show is not going to matter.
Except for the main event. I mean, they put Brock Roman, like, that was part of their whole thing.
Yeah, but nothing happened at it.
I mean, the title didn't change, but they used it to say that Roman won.
Yeah, I guess. All right.
But I mean, I just don't get why these one-off shows are doing these countries need to be heavily promoted on Raw. Like, Triple H and Undertaker have gotten so many minutes promoted on the last 2 episodes, and
next week Shawn Michaels is going to be there.
Yeah, as part of it, but that'd be cool if it was building like a match at Hell in the Cell.
Yeah.
But to me, those are kind of off my radar, those things.
They are, unfortunately. It'll be fun to watch, I guess. It'll be fun to watch a special show on a Saturday, especially since...
Everybody watching it taped here.
Excuse me. There's not going to be a pay-per-view for the men in October, so this will be our pay-per-view. And then we see the women's
we can't watch the women's one?
Why are you saying it's not a men's pay-per-view? It's all women. You get to watch women wrestle, first of all. But these women, most of them, are pretty talented. Some of them kind of suck.
You're getting my balls all twisted now.
Your balls should be twisted after that comment.
We're going to have to wait 2 months for...
not a real pay-per-view. Not a man's pay-per-view.
I did not say a real pay-per-view.
Not a man's pay-per-view. It's pretty much what you just said.
I'm just saying, after Hell in a Cell...
As a woman, I feel offended by what you just said.
We're then going to have to wait until... All right. You know what? Forget it. I'm just going to take the hit on this one.
I feel like my yes chants were hitting and rhythm.
No, that's probably a JLucky laugh. You can always tell by the waveform. Holy
shit.
Wait,
can I say something about my mail sack?
You absolutely could. Please promote it. Do what you got to do.
No. I'm actually pretty surprised it was 2 wrestling questions.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah, her sack's open for anything.
Can we not refer to it as my sack?
Yeah, JLucky's mail sack is open for anything.
It is my mail sack. But can we not
so
say
what
it's open for
what are you
anything?
trying to say to the fans?
No, I'm just saying you can ask me anything. I'm just honestly surprised.
AML.
I don't mind. I like wrestling questions.
Yeah.
I'm just saying I was surprised. I thought for sure one of them would have been a non-wrestling question.
Well,
Since our podcast
bear
is
in mind,
80-20.
I pulled up the email and I just pulled 2 randoms. There
so
could have
maybe
been others.
you didn't want me to
Maybe
answer
I felt like we
non-wrestling.
were talking a lot of non-wrestling.
I think
this
next week I'm going to let Sam pick the questions.
Next week we're on to JB's awful hot take, where I'm going to just go
Oh,
nuts
well
about
then-
something stupid.
Yeah.
I feel like you may have done that tonight. I don't know. There was a pen flying
JB's
across
awful
the room.
hot take. Everybody's dad's the best.
No, I thought his awful hot take was about the 3s with 5s and 9s and 8s
No,
and 10s.
No, 'cause
these
that's
aren't anywhere near his bad hot take.
Now, my bet, to promote next week's episode, JB's awful hot take is a thing that Sam kind of started by egging me on. Like, I would talk bad. What were some of the things that...
He thinks
like
Rice
popcorn.
Krispies suck.
Yeah.
He thinks popcorn sucks.
Ketchup.
Like,
He didn't
things
have
that,
ketchup in
things
his
that
house.
all
Yeah.
you stupid sheep like,
Yeah.
that I just I'm smarter
Popcorn,
and
he
more
hates
evolved.
popcorn.
Who doesn't have ketchup at their house?
He hates
I do
popcorn
now.
too.
I
And he
know.
hates butter. Butter and popcorn.
God, it's so true. Yeah, you have ketchup now because of JLucky.
Yeah, she made me get ketchup, and I have Hellman's ketchup, which is like the weirdest. That's
Yeah,
my-
yeah.
It was free at the grocery store. I
But anyways,
had a coupon.
next week you can tune in. You can tune in next week and hear JB's awful hot take, which is where I, as a way more evolved individual than the rest of you sheep, talk about something and tell you how it's actually terrible, like butter, like popcorn, things that are not as good as you make them out to be. Popcorn is just, it's just
Wait,
fucking
do
styrofoam
not talk
peanuts.
about this now.
Well, I already did the popcorn rant
Yeah.
months ago.
I feel like popcorn was not. I feel like your Rice Krispie
I
one.
can't believe we went this long when I'm dying from
yeah,
cheeseburger
with
stomach
like,
affliction.
extreme tummy aches. We went over an hour.
Apparently, you do well with meat energy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the solid meat energy.
Meat Shack.
Meat Shack, yeah. What did Roman called Braun a Meat Shack
Yeah, he
this
keeps
week?
calling him Meat Shack, which you
And
said,
you're doing well with all your carbs.
Yeah, I'm doing alright. Yeah, anyways, Meat Shack apparently, if you heard Roman call Braun that, if you look it up, Urban Dictionary says Meat Shack is a vagina. So, he was calling him a vagina.
Vaginal.
Vaginal.
He was having
oh
vagina.
my
That would be
goodness.
by the way, that would be the title of this episode. If we titled our episode that way, it would be the title of this episode. I think would be Vaginal.
Vaginal. I was going to call it the yellow blob, but alright, yeah, the vaginal. So, if you're hearing us, you have apparently switched over to the new feed, and we welcome you, we thank you. You are now off of the individual Tapped Out, or the group Tapped Out podcast feed. You've gone to just Guerrilla Press, which we're happy to have you.
One of the millions.
And hundreds of people who listen to us weekly, and we are very appreciative of that.
Tell your friends.
We would appreciate you more if you told some friends about us. Tell them how easy it is to get us.
Even
for
if
free.
you don't have friends, tell them.
Yeah, make up some friends, or find a person that you think might like wrestling, or just likes funny shit.
Yeah,
Or likes to
exactly.
hear 2 fat guys and a chick talk
We
about
have people
things.
that listen to us that don't like wrestling. So
We
yeah,
do.
yeah.
I think we probably have almost equal. I think it's probably 50-50, at least from these, the poll that I've done. And if you don't like wrestling, if you like comedy, or if you don't like comedy and you like wrestling, or if you like both, you can listen to us. But thank you again for listening to us, and tell friends. Where was I going with that? Oh, Patreon.
Yes.
We're looking for supporters because I have completely rigged up a situation where the audio sounded good tonight, but a brand new actual good microphone will make us sound even better. So we're working towards that. So we're going to put out some fresh content on Patreon. If you go in there and support us, you can catch us a day earlier than everybody else.
And maybe if you support us, JB can stop valeting, and then we can record more content.
This is the ultimate goal, is that I want to
Yes.
have 2 jobs, and I can actually have more time. We don't have to get together
We
at
can do
11
things
o'clock.
like watch old shit from 1989 and just riff on it.
Yeah, absolutely. That would be a lot of fun. Or we could let JLucky could have her own podcast. Who knows? She could just have her own show.
What would she do?
What would you
What
do?
would I do?
If you just sit here with a microphone and you for 20 minutes, what would you talk
I have
about?
no idea.
What would you think? I mean, I'm not going to do it, but could you do a Big Brother show? If I brought Brendan over here, could you guys talk Big Brother? You probably could. Yeah, you really could.
But that wouldn't be very good for your wrestling podcast.
Maybe I could throw it up on Patreon. People would check it out.
Maybe.
I could put it up on his feed. Because
True.
I'm going to do that. I'm going to have him come over someday. You guys can do a Big
And
Brother
then you
show.
could do another one where you all talk about awesome, amazing video games.
Yeah, we're talking about video games. Things
You
like
all
that.
have a history of old video games.
Of
You guys
course
talk
we
all
do.
the time
We're,
about that.
We're fat old nerds. We love
Yeah,
video
old
games.
video games. Don't include me on
That's
any
what I
new
just said,
stuff.
old video
Yeah.
games.
Yeah.
I'm not a loser anymore.
So, anyways, we... Wait a second. God damn it. We appreciate everybody that listens to us. Sam probably doesn't, but JLucky and I appreciate it. He thinks that he's just so talented that he's just biding his time here with this podcast before he gets the call up to the big leagues.
The big leagues.
I have to tell you, my friend.
At Capital City.
That
baby.
call for you is like a new job call for me. It just ain't coming. So don't worry about it. Anyways, JLucky, what would you like to add to this week? You didn't get in much. You just kind of were sitting back.
There, you guys were
You didn't get in much. That's what she normally says to you.
Where's that ball slapping noise?
Do you have anything to add?
No, I didn't say much because you two were debating a lot.
Yeah, we were going at it.
She was.
It was one of those where I didn't want a pen thrown at my head, so I just got quiet.
She was watching us debate.
I did
all
have
night.
to see Sam duck. I thought maybe.
The duck was funny, and his like the look. He just like for a split second, you were like.
He's about to lose it.
But you
because
like
not only your hand is right next to his head too when you threw the pen.
Yeah.
It wasn't like it could have been hand or pen.
You love it. You love a reaction out of me. That's what you want.
It's fun.
Do you have anything else to add there?
Got nothing.
Send stuff to my mail sack.
Please send stuff to her mail sack. It's tappedouttgp@gmail.com or DM her at JLuckySunshine on Twitter.
Open up them DMs.
DM the Wrestling
Slide
Dorks
the
at the
DM.
Wrestling Dorks.
Yeah, you could DM ours too and say it's for her.
Yeah, at the Real Ass Cav. Follow him. He's starting high school football now.
Don't DM me.
No?
No, DM me. Don't waste my time.
Here he goes. Yeah, listen to him. He's a big timer. Anyways, or check out the Facebook page and the
Patreon. That's all I really care about.
Yeah, he just wants those dollars.
Yeah, you $1 at a time, baby.
All right. Well, thank you for listening to another supersize. Ever since we added JLucky, all episodes are supersized.
Right.
Wait, don't blame me for this. You two went on your rant.
Did JLucky supersized?
So thank you for listening to the episode this week.
Why
We appreciate every listener we have, and we appreciate
You're
you.
exactly
We will
right, Sam.
catch you next week on an all-new episode of The Guerrilla
And I'll
Press.
still be supersized.
Later.